was around September 2022 that Putin recommitted to the war. There was a lot of nuclear rhetoric, and he announced annexation of portions of Ukraine. So this is clearly a man who's becoming more and more desperate. We have to be clear about something here. Putin's nuclear threats are not only threats against Ukraine, they're threats against NATO, they're threats against the United States, they're threats against the EU, the UK, and our allies. Really what Putin is doing is he's warring against the basic principles, the Charter of the United Nations. And if the world were to give in to nuclear blackmail, the only thing that we could expect and should expect is for that to reoccur in the future. In 2014, when Putin took Crimea, I immediately recognized that that was not a one-off type of annexation. It was the establishment of a forward operating base. The history of Russia, even the modern history, is in annexing neighbor countries. For example, Georgia, a portion of Moldova, portions of Ukraine. People know about that. But the real history of Russia is one of taking over neighbors and declaring those lands to be a part of Russia. Let's state it in non-politically correct terms. Russians are marauders. And there is an arrogance that comes with that mindset. Putin has already doubled down on the mobilization, and many of Putin's inner circle have already started suggesting that Russia should start to transfer military technology to places like Cuba and Venezuela to directly threaten the United States. So anyone who believes that Russia's war on Ukraine is solely and narrowly limited to a war only on Ukraine is misapprehending the situation entirely. Let's take, for example, Russia's supposed alliance with Iran. It's not really an alliance with Iran. It's a partnership with the mullahs, with the Islamic Mafia. About 90% of Iranians hate that regime. They don't even recognize that regime as being an Iranian regime, quite frankly. And what Russia does is it helps prop up regimes like this to keep nations in a condition of slavery. The Soviet Union did the same thing with many nations. For example, Cuba, Poland, Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, many countries. In the parlance of the law, we're dealing with a repeat offender, a habitual recidivist. One thing that makes the situation today a little bit different than the Cold War is in the Soviet era, there were committees, there was a distribution of power, there were certain established doctrines. Now, Russia is governed by a mafia system, and there's a certain unpredictability in that system, so it's even more dangerous. One thing, however, is clear: the world cannot and will not yield to Vladimir Putin.